Excellency, Dr. Muhammad bin Abdul Karim Al-Issa, Secretary General Muslim World League, Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan, Honorable Judges of Supreme Court of Pakistan, the Chief Justices of the High Court, Chief Justice, Supreme Court of Azad Jammu and Kashmir, Chief Justice of the Gilgit-Baltistan, the judges from the different high courts of Pakistan, our development partners, members of the judiciary, representatives of the bar bodies, rights activists, students, trainees, ladies and gentlemen, and of course the honorable and distinguished speakers. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. It's indeed a great honor to speak at National Symposium on Interfaith Harmony and Fundamental Rights, a constitutional imperative. I would like to thank the Federal Judicial Academy and the Law and Justice Commission for organizing the event under the auspices of Supreme Court of Pakistan, convening to discuss dignity, equality, and access to justice reflects the seriousness with which our nation must treat these matters. Let me begin with a simple assertion. Respect for minorities and protection of their rights is not an optional endeavor. It is at the heart of our Constitution and of any just society indeed. Our Constitution guarantees freedom of conscience and religion. These are not just abstract lines on the papers. They are the standards by which our dignity as a nation will be judged, both at home and abroad. The legal foundations are clear. Article 20 guarantees freedom to profess religion and to manage religious institutions. Article 22 protects minorities in education and their right to administer educational institutions. Article 25 guarantees equality before the law. 27 prohibits religious discrimination in public employment. The principles of policy, including Article 36, obligate the state to protect the legitimate rights of minorities. These provisions form not only a constitutional guarantee, but a governance responsibility to ensure that access to justice is equal, timely, and real for every citizen. We have, over the years, developed important legislative and institutional measures. The Pakistan Penal Code and Criminal Procedure Code contain provisions to address forced marriages and related offences. Provincial laws such as Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Protection of Communal Properties of Minorities Act, the Punjab and Sindh Security of Vulnerable Establishments Acts, the Balochistan Protections for Communal Property demonstrate that provinces are taking legal steps to secure the rights and places of worship of all communities living in Pakistan. Yet challenges persist. Despite strong constitutional guarantees and a growing body of laws, members of religious minorities in Pakistan continue to face discrimination, social exclusion, and vulnerability. Incidents of forced conversions and attacks on places of worship remind us that our work remains unfinished. Behind each case lies a life affected, a family in distress, and a community seeking reassurance in justice and protection. We must ensure procedural safeguards, fair investigations, and accountability for false accusations, while reforming personal status laws and registration systems to prevent misuse. Ensuring access to justice means making justice attainable and impartial through legal aid, fast-track mechanisms, judicial trainings on interfaith sensitivity, and right-based adjudication. Likewise, education reform must promote diversity, tolerance, and civic responsibility from an early age. Political inclusion must also be strengthened through transparent representation and enforcement of employment and education quotas. The role of society and institutions is equally vital. Media, religious scholars, and civil society must serve as partner in promoting responsible narratives and interfaith dialogue. Survivors of violence must have access to legal, psychological, and social support alongside strengthened helplines and rehabilitation services. By upholding human rights and inclusivity at home, Pakistan enhances its international credibility and reaffirms its commitment to global human rights standards. The government has already taken constructive steps. The Interfaith Harmony Policy and Strategy for Religious Tolerance, approved by Federal Cabinet earlier this year, sir, provide a clear policy direction. The National Action Plan 2021 and Prime Minister's Steering and Review Committee ensure coordinated action across ministries. The National Commission for Human Rights, with its broad mandate and powers, together with the proposed National Commission for Minorities' Rights, marks an important institutional stride towards stronger oversight, accountability, and redress. The recent formation of Minority Caucus in Senate is another welcoming step, reflecting Parliament's growing commitment to inclusivity and the protection of all communities. Through its Human Rights Awareness Program, the Ministry of Human Rights has conducted hundreds of sessions nationwide, engaging scholars, officials, and communities to foster understanding and inclusion. However, awareness alone is not enough. The ministry, in collaboration with judiciary, parliament, provincial governments, and civil society, is now pursuing practical and coordinated measures. These include the standardization of police procedures, mandatory training for officials on religious sensitivity, and the establishment of minority protection cells for rapid response and legal aid. Procedural safeguards are being introduced in blasphemy-related investigations to prevent misuse and ensure timely justice. To the Honorable Chief Justice and the members of esteemed judiciary, we are all present here. I extend a particular request. Your leadership in reinforcing the rule of law, upholding constitutional protections, and guiding jurisprudence on rights will be vital. Judicial reflections and directions emerging from this symposium can provide jurisprudential clarity that will protect vulnerable communities and strengthen democratic governance. To religious leaders, your voice shapes hearts and minds. I ask you and request you to join state institutions in promoting narratives of compassion, common humanity, and tolerance. To media and educators, use your platforms to amplify pluralism, to present positive stories of cohesion. To business and civil society, invest in community projects that create shared economic opportunities across the divides. Finally, as we conclude this symposium, let our discussion translate into practical and accountable outcomes. I welcome the adoption of a national declaration on interfaith harmony and access to justice. Let it serve as a catalyst for measurable reforms, clear timelines, and collaborative oversight. We owe it to our Constitution, to our citizens, and to future of Pakistan to ensure that no person is marginalized for his faith, ethnicity, or belief, and that justice remains accessible to all, not as a privilege, but as of a right. In closing, let me reaffirm the federal government's commitment. We will act, we will cooperate with all stakeholders, and we will measure progress. May our collective work help build a Pakistan in which all citizens can live with equal dignity, security, and opportunity. Thank you very much.